Hey guys, what's up? What's poppin'? It's your boy Haig, but so we got a little section of the podcast we cut out for you because it got really long and lengthy. So we're gonna talk about the Game Awards, all the nominees, what our thoughts are about each one, what we personally vote for it if we feel like we can vote for it. Check it out. So we're gonna go through the Game Awards because I completely forgot about this until during the podcast. The Game Awards nominees were announced this week. There's some controversy, but we'll talk about that at the end before we go. So let's go look at what the nominees are. The Game Awards. This is the 5th or 6th annual Game Awards. It used to be called the Spike Awards when it was on Spike TV, but it's been moved over to its own thing. Jeff Keighley's been making it since day one. So we're gonna start off with with a bang, right at the start. Game of the Year is at the top, and it is Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds.
I talked about this a little with Kenyatta. I'd say Resident Evil 2 or Smash. Those two are the clear winners for me.
To me, the top three: Resident Evil 2, Smash, Outer Worlds.
I would probably agree, although I think their more likelihood is that Death Stranding will be in there instead of The Outer Worlds.
I can see that.
I think it's
Yeah,
more likely,
I can
but I
see
think
that.
The Outer Worlds... I think Resident Evil 2 Remake and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice are the two that deserve the most to win in this scenario. I think that they're probably the best all-around games. They have a lot of goodwill with a lot of people. People like them quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think those are the two that have the best chance of winning. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if anything on this list won except for Control. I think Control doesn't need to be here.
Yeah.
Control is a good game. It's a very weird game, but it's not Game of the Year.
What would you put instead of Control?
I think I mentioned it before. I could put DMC 5. I could put Gears 5. Those two games aren't on here enough.
I'd say DMC 5.
Yeah. Gears 5 got a really good reception. There's a few others too.
To me, it was like Gears 5 dropped, and I heard no one say anything about it.
Oh, really?
Even the people who I know,
It's Xbox. They
that,
don't
like,
have much players.
even the people who I know play,
Actually,
that sound very
I
upsetting.
think we're supposed to be at like 50 million Xboxes sold now, though. So that's good.
But like even the people who I know play Gears like religiously, they weren't saying anything bad about it, but they were just like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Could still be good enough to be on here though. So we'll see.
I think
there was one more that I had in mind, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember too many games that came out this year, even though I know there were good games that came out.
Because the last 2 years, 2017, 2018, were much bigger years.
Yeah,
for games.
I remember last year way more than I remember this year. Let's see, we already discussed Control. Control, it seems random.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit random to be in there.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I haven't played Death Stranding, so I can't formulate too much of a.
Death Stranding is controversial. It's got a lot of good reception, a lot of bad reception. So
that, and I think it's too early.
But some people can say it's really good. It could be considered too early, but it hit the window, and enough people.
I mean, hell.
The jury is made up of a bunch of different outlets and groups of games media and stuff like that vote, that send their votes in. They send their nominees in, and that's how it's decided. That's how the nominees are picked. So that means enough people play Death Stranding, which if they're outlets, I'm assuming they got it early. So I think Death Stranding was out like 3 weeks ahead of time. So people got access to it pretty early, so they were able to get it in here. There's an unfortunate scenario. Jedi Fallen Order is not on this list entirely.
Wow.
Because it missed the window. Yeah, it missed the window basically.
Yikes.
Which is really unfortunate because honestly, that game is nothing less than an 8.5. Like it's a solid, real solid 9.
And it's not gonna get. It's probably not gonna get an award next year because, first of all, it'll have been so long ago, and second of all,
do you know how many
Everything,
obstacles
yeah.
you would have
Everything.
you would have to beat?
yeah. Not
in
only is there
order to-
great things coming out in the first half of next year, there's 2 consoles launching at the end of next year.
But like even if you take those consoles out of the equation, right?
Yeah. Which those actually might miss the cut.
Those will come out later than this
Those
would-
might miss the cutoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those definitely
They'd
will
be
miss
too
the cutoff,
close.
assuming that it's the 20th.
Yeah. If it's the 20th, it's gonna miss the cutoff.
Yeah, because Fallen Order and Pokemon came out on the 15th, and they missed the cut.
Unless they get the, unless they like go send out early. To the
I brought up Pokemon because Fallen Order and Pokemon came out on the same day.
I'm so
Um,
upset too, because I wanted to play both, but I chose Pokemon because I want to, get through the story. And
It's all right.
It's better
Get
that you
my
play
minds.
that game while the community's like all hype and shit about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And put off
Yeah.
less.
But I'm
Oh,
sad
order.
nonetheless.
You'll get to the
Yeah.
Fallen Order.
Um,
Anything else?
oh yeah, and it would have to beat Final Fantasy VII
Final
remake,
Fantasy VII Remake.
and Last of Us 2,
And Cyberpunk and
of which I can tell you it's not.
Doom and all these other games that are coming out.
It's just sorry about it. If you were hoping that I would win, it is not. But yeah, Death Stranding.
yeah.
That game is so. From what I've heard, the game is so confusing that I feel like. Also, because of how controversial it is, we can't really gauge right now. We can't really gauge how good it is.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2. Even if I were just go on a personal level, I just love Resident Evil 2. That was one of the
Yeah.
that's one of the
I
highlights
didn't even
of the
play
year
the
for
game.
me.
It just looks so great.
I think
honestly.
Resident Evil 2 was really, really good.
I'm
Looks
glad to see
great,
it on here too
plays
because it
great.
came out in like January.
Ugh.
So that's really good. That means it made an impact and it stuck in people's minds.
So if they were like, Trey, it's down to you. What should be game of the year? Be Resident Evil 2 for me. I'll get back to Sekiro.
Okay.
Smash Ultimate, it's Smash.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the competitive scene, you play it. You want to be in the competitive scene, you play it casually, or you don't play it at all. Everyone holds their breath whenever anything Smash related comes out.
Yeah.
News, leaks, well, not so much leaks, but you get it. Smash is universal. And the Outer Worlds, ever since it came out, I've been hearing people talk about it.
Yeah. I liked it quite a bit. I haven't finished playing it.
I haven't played it, but I'm going to trust that it's good.
Yeah.
Same thing. Well, Sekiro, I've seen people play it. So all right, Sekiro. The reason why I wouldn't put Sekiro over Smash is because Sekiro is for a
Niche audience.
Yeah, it's for a niche audience. It's for audiences that like those type of
I
games.
disagree. This game hit a lot harder than all the other Soulsborne games that have come out in the past.
It did because
I hear you.
it is much different. Because it does set itself apart than the Dark Souls and the Bloodborns. But it still fits into that category of this game's hard as shit.
Yeah.
And you have to be into those types of games.
I don't really know if that changes that it should be here though.
Oh no, it should definitely be here. I'm saying the reason why I would put it over Smash is because the popularity for Smash outrivals every single game in this category.
And that's a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Straight factuals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight
I'd
factuals.
probably say.
So I'm saying if we're going off of popularity and quality, I'd say Smash has the edge simply because of how ginormous that community is.
That's why I said Resident
Man,
Evil
come
2.
in here and vote.
Smash pretty much defies every
The fan
expectation,
The fan
every-
vote makes up 10% of the actual chance.
Smash
of winning.
defies logic.
I think, in my opinion, there's two things that Smash could have done better that would make it more worth Game of the Year. But that's how it is. I think,
Netcode.
yeah, netcode is one of them, and I think if they were to execute better on an actual single player story, like they did with Melee.
They already said they weren't going to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you mean Brawl?
Yeah, I was
Brawl.
gonna say you mean Brawl.
Brawl. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying Sekiro's definitely going to lose or that Smash is definitely going to win. Hell, if I had it my way, neither of them would win. I just think that top three is honestly Resident Evil 2, Ultimate, and Outer Worlds.
Okay.
Simply because of how much I freaking heard about Outer Worlds. If you asked me like a few weeks ago if I heard one more thing about Outer Worlds, I was going to kill whoever said it.
Yeah. The game had some eyes on it when it was announced and coming up to its release, but then once it came out, it got a bunch more attention.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it at all. So
Yeah, because everyone was like, this game is way better than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, so
Next-
next thing is action game, and this is Apex Legends, Astral Chain, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5, and Metro Exodus. And so the point of the action game is for the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. So
That's interesting.
I didn't vote for this one because I honestly didn't know. I kind of wanted to give it to Apex because Apex did hit really hard this year.
Yeah.
I don't know about Astral Chain. You've been
a
playing
little
it.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to say, I'd probably say either Apex or Gears.
I'd
That's
say
probably what I'd go with.
I'd say either Apex or DMC5.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Devil May Cry is
I think
close.
all
yeah.
of them on this list,
It's very close.
except for maybe Metro Exodus, because I don't know much about it, could really win this. Because, well, I don't know. How good is Astral Chain's combat, would you say?
I heard it gets better later. I haven't gotten too crazy into it because Pokemon came out and I
Yeah.
stopped
Yeah.
playing it. So
Let's see. With Metro,
Because Modern Warfare is like,
with Modern Warfare, it wasn't. From what I understood, it wasn't even that. It did really anything innovative. I think it was more so. This feels like old Call of Duty.
yeah.
Plus a few of the realistic things.
And Metro, I personally didn't hear anything about it when it dropped. It was just kind of like, oh, so I was playing Metro yesterday, and I was like, that game came out.
Metro is for the most part only interest to people that have played the other games, and I bought this game back in February. I bought the collector's edition. There's a fucking barrel sitting right there,
True.
which you can kind of see in my shot, and the statues up there. This shit is awesome. I played the game for maybe like a couple hours on the Xbox, and I loved it when I played it, but I haven't touched the game in, 9 months just because of reasons. So I would be sitting here
Just 'cause of reasons.
Because of raisins.
Yeah.
I would be sitting here rooting for Metro Exodus, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause
Alright.
haven't
I
played
don't
enough
have
of it.
any like any of these that I feel passionate about aside
Yeah.
from
That's why I didn't vote for it.
aside from like
I
maybe
think,
DMC.
I think I would say Apex. in my
I'd
opinion.
say either Apex.
Honestly,
or
I'm gonna give it to
Gears.
Apex. I'll
I
gonna
think
vote
the
right
one
now.
that appeals to me the most is DMC 5 because Apex is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would beat. I don't think it would beat at least two of these being Gears 5 and DMC 5. It's good though. They definitely care about the game and they've made it into something special.
Yeah.
That was completely by kind of like accident.
Yeah. So next thing is action adventure game, which is Borderlands 3, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. And for action adventure game is listed as for the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So it's a mix between combat and
That's
doing things.
hard.
So,
I
gave it to Resident Evil 2 because I love the puzzle aspect of the
So-
game that
Alright.
works really well with the action.
Alright, can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd say Resident Evil 2 also. I'd second that. What was... and then it's either Resident Evil 2 or
Yeah.
Sekiro. I think those are the two big winners.
So, were you done?
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Can you please read what they mean by action adventure again?
Combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
Okay. So I'm gonna get my easy ones out of the way first. Resident Evil 2 or Zelda. I haven't really heard of any of these other games involving puzzles in them.
Okay.
Borderlands definitely doesn't.
Death Stranding is
No.
more traversal.
If you count the puzzle as in just shoot
I'm not
it.
sure. Borderlands 3 is weird to see on here. I would
Yeah.
almost put Kingdom Hearts 3 on here instead of Borderlands 3. Because that's more traversal, right? There's like some
Yeah.
you got to go move around.
Resident
and
Evil
do
2.
things.
Resident Evil's always been about puzzles.
Yeah,
Same-
Legend
and
of the Link's
obviously
Awakening,
Zelda.
and then Sekiro. I'm not sure about the puzzle part of it. I guess the game itself is a puzzle. You got to figure out how to fight these people.
True.
So that's that. Moving on.
Next.
Art direction, sponsored by Samsung QLED. Let me read this first. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. So this is Control, Death Stranding. I think it's pronounced Gree, which is a indie game. Sayonara Wild Hearts, another indie game. Sekiro:
sure
Shadows Die
about this
Twice, and Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Two of these games I have not heard
Yeah,
of.
I'm not
I
sure about
chose
this.
Gree because I know what it looks like, and I like the look of it. It looks really cool. That's why. That's the
I'd
reason why.
almost go Death Stranding for this one.
I don't know why Death Stranding is actually on here. Because Death Stranding is very... Though the art direction is cool in a way, it's not really innovative in any way. It's not like...
Oh,
It's
yeah, that's true.
hyper-realistic.
Innovative, yeah, no.
It doesn't say innovative here, like on the description, but I was like,
I
It's
get-
just...
I get what you're saying.
For me, when I
It's
think
just
of
the
art
world.
direction, I think of something that looks different.
Yeah.
Like if I saw another game like I'd be like, oh, that looks like
That's
this.
why I said Gree. Although
I,
Sayonara Wild Hearts is supposed to be pretty cool, too.
I say Zelda. Because when people saw it,
True.
that's the first thing everyone noticed.
Yeah.
People was like, "Oh, this looks way
I could
different."
say so.
All right.
All right, moving on. Audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. This is not music, to be...
God, I'm gonna.
I-
I think at this point I sound super biased.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Control, Death Stranding, Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
I
They all
haven't
have good
heard
ones.
I didn't vote for this one. I don't know who.
Yeah, I haven't heard all of these games in succession like played
All right.
through.
Do we just want to skip this one then? Because
Let's
I-
see.
we haven't
I would.
played all these games.
Yeah,
either.
neither have I.
I've played all but 2 of them.
Yeah.
So
I skip over it.
I'd say either Call of Duty, Sekiro, or Resident Evil 2.
Okay. I think Call of Duty might win that one because they usually have good. pretty
Oh,
good
the
sound
next
design.
one. The next one. And oh, you voted Destiny 2 for this one?
Community support. Yeah, for sure.
I felt like Apex.
No, let me read the description.
Okay.
Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness. This is the
Oh,
developer.
yeah, okay.
This is on the
Destiny 2.
developer's part,
Oh,
not on the,
yeah, Destiny
not
2.
on, not fan. It's not like a popularity contest.
I don't know why Destiny 2's on here if I'm honest.
I'm talking about this past year. I'd say Destiny 2 is really good about that. Apex Legends, which had their own problems with it. Final Fantasy 14, I don't know really. Fortnite, we know about that for sure. And then Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. It's only 5 on this one.
From what I hear, it's between Final Fantasy 14 and Fortnite.
I don't know about 14. I don't think Fortnite. I think people have been complaining about Fortnite's problems for like the last year and they've not been fixed.
I don't. Fortnite's like Epic Games has just kind of done their like.
They do what they want.
Yeah, and people like it anyways. Like I feel like there's no like connection between the community and the developers there at all. Honestly,
Alright.
I could be wrong, but I just don't get that sense from the gaming community.
I think, and I voted Destiny 2 because ever since they broke off from Activision, I think they've had a really good cadence. With the live stream, how they revealed Shadowkeep and everything forward.
I haven't.
Cadence.
I'm kind of
Shut up, Nico.
stupid. For me, Destiny hasn't really proven. It hasn't really like appealed to me in a while. This past DLC, I liked it, but I definitely have my own grievances with it. So I think compared to other games, simply because of what I've heard, played Apex, I like it, but I don't think it'll win if I'm honest. From what I keep hearing of Final Fantasy 14, I feel like that's what's going to win.
Okay. Content creator of the year for streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the industry in 2019.
I don't know any of these
So
people.
you have Courage. I forget who
he
from.
moved to YouTube
Yeah.
Gaming. He's
Yeah,
the guy that
that-
moved to YouTube
yeah.
Gaming.
That's
Do you
why.
remember-
That's
I
why
think he's a
I
part
know
of an
100
organization,
Thieves
isn't he?
100 Thieves.
I can't remember. Dr. Lupo
don't know.
is
Oh, he might
100
be.
Thieves.
He might be face.
Right?
Or no? Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you guys hear me at all?
What?
No.
Courage was 100. He
I was gonna
moved to
say.
100 Thieves.
He moved to 100 Thieves. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Lupo, Ewok, which we
Don't
talked
know.
about also last week, Gref G, and then Shroud, which we've also talked about.
I only know
barely
of Courage
know
and
any
Shroud
of
because we
these
talked
people.
about him.
Yeah,
I didn't
so-
vote for this. This
It's hard
I
to
move
really
on.
know unless like you watch all the.
Alright, move
on.
you keep up with everything.
I imagine she probably makes a pretty good impact with her situation.
Yeah.
She's young, she's deaf, but she's like a really good streamer apparently. So that's, I mean, I'm not gonna vote for it because I don't want to put my vote where it doesn't belong. But that's what I would say. Esports coach, we'll breeze through this one real quickly. The esports coach judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2019. I'm just gonna read what they
Coma.
are. I'm not gonna read all their names.
Coma.
The Team Liquid CS:GO coach, the Team Liquid League of Legends coach, the G2 Esports League of Legends coach, the SKT1 League of Legends coach, the
He's on there 3
OG Dota 2 League, coach, my bad, and Astralis CS:GO coach.
I'm gonna guess and say Nuri Kane Jang.
Huh?
Kane's good.
He's gonna win because reasons.
Kane's good, but I think Coma's definitely better. Like Coma's been insane.
Or how
Grabs
about-
too.
Grabs got them to the final. I mean,
Grabs is also a good contender.
I'd
It's
vote for
between
him.
Grabs and Coma for me.
All
All
right.
right, moving on.
We shall
I guessed
see.
wrong.
Esports event, recognizing a singular event across single or multiple days that delivered a best-of-class experience for participants, in-person fans, and the broadcast audience.
Stop playing with me.
And that would be Overwatch, EVO, Fortnite, IEM Katowice, League of Legends World Championship, and the International, which I believe is Dota.
You already
Yes.
know.
League or Evo?
Yeah, I
League of
chose
Legends.
League.
League of Legends.
Esports Game of the Year.
League of Legends.
I'm not even gonna read that. You know what that is. CS:GO, Dota 2, Fortnite, League, Overwatch. I
League.
voted League.
Honestly-
Overwatch has been winning though. recently these past few years
Well, that doesn't surprise me. But honestly, why is Fortnite even on here?
I don't know.
because they have
Like
esports.
they do, but like who gives a shit? Really?
I know.
I don't know.
All right,
Someone
move on.
does.
So if you do, then good on you, I guess.
Esports
I'm gonna say
host.
I know. I
Wizards.
know what I just said insulted a lot of people because it's a big community. But like,
Fucking whatever.
compared to the other games, man, who gives a shit?
Esports host, the best host or commentator of esports
Gotcha.
events, both in venue and or on broadcast in 2019, irrespective of game or language.
Scroll down.
And you have Shocks, Machine, Red Eye, Golden Boy, and Candace.
Hey, Golden Boy.
I voted for Shocks, but I know two of these other guys too.
Shocks.
I know Golden Boy. Golden Boy's the what face emote, and then Candace is also from League.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen Candace
but
before,
Shocks is
but yeah,
Shocks is
yeah.
far and away the
I'm
best.
just
Shocks.
yeah.
Shocks is great.
Faker.
No.
Sorry, go on.
Alright.
No, Perks. I'd say Perks.
Esports
Perks.
Player of the Year.
By
far.
This guy who's from Sentinels for
I would fight you on
Fortnite,
that, but we don't
Faker
have
in
Faker.
SKT, League of Legends, Perks in G2 League of Legends, Simple in
CS:GO.
whatever the hell that team name is, CS:GO, and Sinatra in SF Shock in Overwatch. Yeah, San
I have
Francisco
heard of
Shock.
Sinatra.
Yeah, I've heard of him too.
Why is Faker on here?
Faker.
He's on here every year.
It's Faker.
Yes, but
I don't know-
Through
yeah, I
the
don't-
semifinals.
Yeah, I don't know why he's on here. He's actually.
Yeah, he's been throwing.
I think Perks
recently.
wins this. At
Yeah,
least,
Perks
from what
definitely.
I know. Maybe
Perks
one of
is
these other guys
retarded,
make a
Faker.
pretty good impact.
All right.
Esports team,
G2.
Astralis, G2, OG,
Obviously,
San Francisco
G2.
Shock, Team
TSM.
Liquid. Only one of these is a League of Legends team. Two of them are CSGO. One's Overwatch and one's Dota. So,
TSM.
family game.
There's still more. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're halfway through.
Yeah, we can. Yo, we
No,
can't do
no,
this.
yeah,
We're at 2
we're
hours,
breezing.
so-
We're breezing through them as it is.
Y'all want to make this a different video?
Family
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's fine.
I
Family
think
game
it's
for the best
Fuck
game
it, sure.
appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. Luigi's Mansion 3, Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or Yoshi's Crafted World.
Mario Maker 2.
I don't know what to say in this one.
I don't want to say.
Ye-
They're all Nintendo games.
Yeah, I would say so.
This is literally Nintendo games.
Because though Luigi Mansion.
Well, honestly, I'm
3
actually
is
kind of offended
co-op,
that they don't
I
have
wouldn't say
things
it's a
like.
family game.
Most people don't play it co-op.
Yeah.
I'm
Ring Fit
actually,
Adventure,
I'm
I don't
actually
know what
kind
that
of
is.
upset that they don't
Oh,
have
I've-
other those all those kart races that came out this last year.
I've seen
On this
Ring.
list.
I've seen Ring Fit Adventure, and it's one of those things that you play with your friends, like while you're drunk, or if you want to see them look stupid, or if you want
to work out.
or force the heavy set dude to work out because it's
Yeah.
funny for some reason. It's funny, but
Yeah.
it looks like they made working out.
Why
fun,
isn't
but
Crash Team Racing and Sonic All Stars Racing on here? That's my
I
question.
didn't know anyone played Yoshi's Crafted World, but for me, I'd say Mario Maker 2. Next,
Fighting game for the best game design primarily around head-to-head combat.
BB
Dead
Tag
or,
isn't on here. They're racist.
it's not new. Dead or Alive
Shut up.
6, Jump Force, Mortal Kombat 11, Samurai Showdown, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think Ultimate takes this for
I'm gonna
sure.
say this. I'm gonna say this. The fact that Jump Force is on here makes me question
I know.
who was in charge of nominating this.
gonna say
I
the
think
same
it's just
thing.
because so they can get some nominations on the board.
BB Tag.
Look.
Like any fighting game.
They only got 5 things on here compared to the 6 of the other ones. They had the fill of the space.
Exactly.
Put another game.
Were there
Put Smash
no
on here
other
twice.
Fighting games? Cheat.
If it were between
Outer
two, it'd be.
Wilds, yeah.
If it were between two, it'd be between Smash Ultimate and Mortal Kombat 11 easily.
We have fresh indie game, recognizing a new independent studio that released its first game in 2019. This is presented by Subway. That's why it's called Fresh Indie Game.
I can't see
Outer
them.
Wilds.
Disco Elysium. Heard a lot of good stuff about that. Gris, which we already talked about. My Friend Pedro, which is pretty cool. Nico, scroll down.
I'm sorry.
The Outer Wilds, which we talked about as well.
Wow.
For Slay the Spire. I don't know about that. I've only heard about that game. And then Untitled Goose Game, which we've all heard of.
Goose
Oh
Game.
yeah,
You
the
already
Goose Game.
know
I forgot
Goose
about
Game's
that.
got that in the bag.
I don't know who wins this.
I'd say Outer Wilds.
I think
but the
everybody
Goose Game
on
is
here,
fun.
except for Slay the Spire, can win this. I don't think My Friend Pedro will. Outer Wilds is a lot of love. Disco Elysium's been getting a lot of love lately. I don't know what's going on with that game, but I heard a lot about it. Okay, moving on. Game direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Security Shadows Die Twice, and The Outer Wilds. I gave it to Death Stranding.
Based on what I've seen, Death Stranding, Sekiro, or Outer Worlds.
Yeah, Sam.
Outer Wilds.
Wilds, whatever.
That's the Groundhog's Day in space thing. Remember that Wesley was talking about?
Yeah.
I stand by what I said.
All right.
All right, games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Concrete Genie, Gree, Kind Words, Life is Strange 2, and Sea of Solitude.
Only one I've heard of is Life is Strange 2. Know nothing about it.
I've heard of
Yeah.
all these games now, and I would probably say Gree or Kind Words wins it. Maybe Life is Strange 2. Independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system.
Baba.
Baba Is You, which is actually supposed to be pretty good.
Oh yeah, Baba Is You. I saw Cutie play that.
Yeah, Cutie was playing that game.
Disco Elysium, which we talked about. Katana Zero, which is similar to The Messenger in a way. Outer Wilds, which you also mentioned, an Untitled Goose Game as well.
Goose Game.
Wait a minute.
But
Similar-
is Goose Game really outstanding creative and technical achievement?
Yes.
Similar to the Messenger, you said?
Name a game where you can play as a goose
You telling me
and cause
It's
mischief.
also published by Devolver Digital, so check it out.
You telling me it's a Metroidvania game?
Check it out.
I like me some Metroidvania games.
Oh my god.
Or it might be more like Hyper Life
All
Drifter.
right, I'll
I
back
could
up.
be
Sorry.
wrong. Mobile game. Call of Duty Mobile, which I'm
can you
actually
scroll
hearing
down,
is
please?
pretty good apparently. Grindstone, Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is on mobile, but I think it's also on Switch and stuff like that. Sky, Children of Light, and What the Golf.
Never heard of
Forget
it.
what the golf.
I've
Yeah, I
only
don't-
heard of
I don't
2
know
of
any
these.
Oh, I know that game. I heard of it.
All right, I'm not gonna vote for anything here. I don't know. I've heard Call of Duty Mobile is actually pretty good though. So, multiplayer game for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare,
The Almighty.
Tetris 99. Do you know what the game is?
No.
I'll mention it in a second. And Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
What I will say is, this might shock you, but Tetris 99.
Why?
Tetris 99
What
is a
it?
battle royale game
Huh?
exclusive to the Switch.
Huh?
It is a Tetris game. But when I say by battle royale, I mean
did you
it's
not-
a
how did you
last
not
man
know
standing
this?
game. It's basically 100 people or it's 99 people that are playing competitive Tetris, and you have to be the last one
I
standing.
did that in real life.
It's actually
On a
pretty good from
plane
what I've heard. It's
to
free.
Japan.
I'm pretty sure it's free.
Tetris 99.
It was intense.
I gave it to Apex, but I could see Tetris 99
I
winning
could definitely see Apex winning, but
Yeah, I could see Tetris 99
I
winning.
did
as
not
well.
know about that, by the way.
I
I
don't
think
know why.
any
Tetris
game
99.
on this list could win except for the Division 2. Division 2 is pretty good, I heard, but like I don't know if it meets these games.
I'd always feel weird voting for Call of Duty on any of these, like at least for the past few years, because like though the game's different every time, it's the same game every time.
the
Yeah,
core
it's not
the
really
core of the
changing.
core of the game hasn't.
It's still Call of Duty.
That's
changed.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty.
You're never gonna vote for Call of Duty in game direction, for
Yeah.
example.
Or even Game of the Year. Like,
In terms of
there's just better
narrative, for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, I didn't vote for this one. A Plague Tale: Innocence, Control, Death Stranding, Disco Elysium, and The Outer Worlds. It's quite a combination of games there.
From what I've heard, Death Stranding
Yeah,
or
from what
Control.
I've heard.
Only because I don't know the Outer
Oh,
Worlds
yeah.
like that. I keep hearing about the stuff you do in the Outer Worlds, not what the Outer Worlds like. I haven't heard anything about the narrative. Disco Elysium, no idea what that is, and A Plague Tale. That's a game, I guess.
I heard this game was actually pretty good. This is the one with the
I have that game.
during the Black Plague.
I have that
There's
game.
like rats in the picture and stuff like that. It's
I would assume
interesting.
so.
Control story, it's confusing as hell from what I've heard, from what I've seen so far. Death Stranding, the story might be good later on, according to our friend Darius, but oh man, I cannot stand some of the writing.
You're gonna
Disco
tell me about that
Elysium
after.
is an RPG, so I don't know if it actually has a good narrative or not. It's on here, and then the Outer Worlds, I'd say it's pretty good. It's in there. I actually don't know who to vote for this one. That's why I didn't vote for it, even though I've played 3 of these games.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't finished any of them.
Okay, ongoing game.
Best ongoing game awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
I'd say Apex.
Apex is good, but the events don't really hit hard. That's the problem with that game. Fortnite is a better version of Apex in that regard, but I think
Yeah, I'd
I
say
think
so,
the
yeah.
fan reception of Fortnite hasn't been as good
That's
this
what
time
I'm
this
saying.
year.
That's why I feel like Apex.
well,
would-
because people are starting to get tired of Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't think Apex tops it though because of that. I think Destiny 2 is my vote because of the change, just because of the way they've released content this year. going forward?
I would say Final Fantasy 14
I think it's probably going to win. I think you're right on that one.
because
Although Siege gets really good support.
like, all right, for Apex, you pretty much mirrored what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny 2, I've heard a lot of people. I feel like Destiny 2 is still divisive, though its perception has changed for the better.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel that it's controversial.
Yeah.
That's like that's a
This game's
controversial
always
game.
going to have problems because of
It's
its
going
original
to be for
launch.
It's going to be for a while. Fortnite, I already explained that. Rainbow Six Siege, I don't know about that one. I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
There's
I've
a lot of
heard-
people who know nothing about
I've
it.
heard it's pretty, like, it's going strong, so it's getting support. It gets new content all the time.
Strong support from the people who play it. So I feel like it has a closed audience. Final Fantasy 14, think of how many collaborations they have. They have like 1,001. The Nier Automata one,
That looks
from
dope.
what I saw, it looks freaking amazing and it's nuts.
Yeah.
So I haven't really heard of them disappointing too many times. Not just this year, but like in general. But I just think when it comes to consistency, Final Fantasy 14 is the way to go.
Okay. I think you're probably right on that one. I still voted for Destiny 2, but I think you're right. Performance awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. Ashley Birch as Parvati in The Outer Worlds, Courtney Hope as Jessie in Control, Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz in Gears 5, Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff in Death Stranding, Matthew Porretta as Dr. Casper in Dr. Casper Darling in Control, and Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges in Death Stranding. I voted for Ashley Birch because I love her character in The Outer Worlds. I seem to always love Ashley's characters for some reason. She also did the voice of Aloy.
Oh, okay. So my opinion on this is heavily skewed because I haven't played 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I haven't played like 3 of these games.
Mm-hmm.
So which one have you played?
Actually, now that I look
only
at
one
it,
game on here. That
now that I look at it, there's only one game that I've played on here, being Control.
yeah,
I remember Matthew Porretta,
yeah, the
yeah.
doctor.
and from what little I saw, he played his role well.
Yeah,
So,
he did. From what I saw as
Take
well.
from that what you will, I guess. So,
I
good
can
job,
say,
Matthew.
from my opinion, Ashley takes this from me. Courtney Hope did a good job, but I haven't finished the game. Laura Bailey always does a good job, so I wouldn't be surprised if she wins regardless.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen was actually, from what I've played so far in Death Stranding, his role was actually pretty good. He's a really good actor, which we already know, but he acts very well in the game. Norman Reedus, I do not like in this game, so does not win my vote on this. And then the Doctor's pretty cool. Laura Bailey. Again, I wouldn't be mad if Laura won because Laura's a good voice actress.
You can edit this part of the podcast.
All right. Role-playing game. For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences.
Kingdom Hearts loses.
Disco Elysium, which I said was an RPG. Final Fantasy 14, which is kind of interesting because it's an MMO. Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and The Outer Worlds. I said The Outer Worlds wins.
Yeah, honestly, it's between Monster Hunter and the Outer Worlds.
I was about to
Yeah.
say Monster Hunter.
I
heard Monster
I don't know
Hunter
how
is
good the
crazy.
DLC is, which is what this is talking about.
Yeah.
For
Because,
Monster Hunter?
Yeah, because
Monster
otherwise
Hunter,
this wouldn't be on here.
From what I
That game-
saw,
that
from what I
game
saw,
came out
it's
last
really
year,
good.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll
And
occasionally
I keep,
turn
like
on.
I said, I keep hearing about Disco Elysium, but I don't know if it's really good or
I'll
not.
occasionally turn on Maximilian Dude's stream, and like he plays Monster Hunter quite a bit,
Yeah.
and it looks crazy.
Hopefully, someday, Destiny can be on this list because it wants to be an RPG.
Hopefully,
Score and music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack. Cadence of Hyrule, which is that game, the Crypt of the Necrodancer game. That the sequel is this one, and they got a collaboration with Nintendo and they put this in it. You might remember the trailer if you saw it, Trey. Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, or Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is actually based around music.
I haven't heard any of the music scores for most of these games.
Yeah.
I put Death Stranding
I would give it to Death Stranding
because I
just as a
love the
blind
way
vote.
they use the music in that game. Like, not the atmospheric music, that's fine too, but the actual soundtrack that they have.
Yeah.
again, very biased. Only played 2 of these games. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Can't argue with that.
Love the
I
music
don't know
of
about
Kingdom Hearts.
DMC5. Does DMC5 have good music?
No
It was
clue.
good. It was definitely good.
Okay. Cadence of Hyrule is based around music, and so is Silent Hill Wild Hearts. So that's why those two are here for sure.
Well, that's
and they're
unfair.
supposed to be pretty good, so I'll give them that one. But I voted for Death Stranding. Be nice to see one of these games win, though. Sports and racing game.
Well, I'm
Pretty
hella
obvious.
impressed
Forget
here.
Crash being
Crash Team
at the
Racing,
top.
Nitro Fuel is on here. Dirt Rally 2. That's PES 2020, F1 2019, and FIFA 20. I don't know who's gonna win this one.
Crash.
Probably
Normally I
Crash.
vote for Forza when it's on here, but it's not on here obviously this year. I would vote for Crash, but quite frankly, I don't know if that's actually better than any of these other games. Oops. So, moving on.
Crash.
Strategy game.
Oh.
Best game focused on real-time, turn-based strategy, gameplay, irrespective of platform. Age of Wonders Planetfall, Anno 1800, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Total War 3 Kingdoms, Tropico 6, and Wargroove. I've heard of most of these games, but I don't know much about most of them.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Emblem is...
I have the game and have not finished it.
Okay,
I actually need
Fire
to go
Emblem?
back and play
You
the
playing that
DLC.
game? How come I feel like I heard that once and then never heard it again?
I played a decent
game?
amount. Fire Emblem.
That he was playing Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, he
I
was.
played a decent amount of it.
That's cool.
I helped him learn a few things here and
And
there.
we're almost at the end. Actually, we are at the end. And best VR AR game, so virtual reality or augmented reality. For the best game experience, playable in virtual
Oh, well.
or augmented reality, irrespective of platform, Asgard's Wrath, Blood and Truth, Beat Saber, No Man's Sky, and Trover Saves the Universe.
Okay, so let me interject real quick before people say something.
Yes. Please tell me how wrong you
I-
are.
I only played or seen. I'll say seen 2 of these games on this list. However, I played No Man's Sky and it blew my shit. It's so
Oh, in
fun.
VR, yeah.
It's so fun. I played No Man's Sky before, and I understand like No Man's Sky gets like boring and repetitive, but they added a lot to the game so far and everything. But man, VR is a different experience. Oh, it's so fun to walk around. Changing your weapons, you like reach behind you and grab your gun. You can put it away by doing that kind of stuff to access your menus. You can like go like this and then touch a button and your menus will pop up. You can click shit.
Yeah.
It's just so intuitive, so fun,
That's
and
cool.
I don't know. It just adds that extra oomph to the game for me.
I will say with No Man's Sky, like when I got back into it, I don't know when it was, like a couple months ago or whatever, a few months ago, towards the end of the summer, I really enjoyed the stuff they added to the game, that they've been adding to the game. And when I played it in VR, it was really cool. I will just say though, it's like it takes a while to get down all the controls.
Yeah,
And because of the kind of game, the way, like the amount of time you have to put into it, it's also difficult to play in VR for a long time. So I wouldn't play it in VR over playing it on desktop, on my monitor. But it definitely is something fun to try out.
Yeah,
And it's cool to get into that
I
world
played
in
it
that
for
way.
like 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it was so fun for me. But anyway,
To be clear, I believe the only reason that Beat Saber is on here is because it came to PSVR this year. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here.
I was
It
gonna
was here
say.
last year.
yeah,
It's
think-
kind of a cop out in that regard, but yeah.
Yeah.
Beat Saber's probably gonna
I'd give it the Beat Saber.
Beat
Blood and
Saber.
Truth and Asgard's Wrath, I don't know.
Blood and Truth is on PSVR exclusively
Mm.
because it's by Sony Interactive Entertainment London studio.
Mm.
And Asgard's Wrath, I don't know much about. It looks like it's on Oculus. And then Trover Saves the Universe is by the guys that do the Rick and Morty stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
that is.
heard about that.
I've heard that game.
That's a
I've
VR
heard about
game.
the game, and I've heard good things about it. So it wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if that game wins.
More than what I heard.
So that's it.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
to me, Beat Saber's gonna win.
So real quickly, I just want to touch on this since we're not putting this in the podcast anymore.
Don't touch me.
There is a concern because Death Stranding is nominated for like 9 things or something like that.
Let's count.
It's got a lot of them. You can count
What
them.
if it was here, man?
Cheap.
Yo,
Cheap. Forget
You
racing.
say.
Let's see. 1,
You can drive vehicles in that game, but there's no racing.
2, technically 3 from this one.
Yeah, I would just say 2 though.
Yeah, so that's 2, 3, 4.
Cheat, man. All that noise.
Actually, you want to release?
5,
You want to
6,
release this?
7,
8.
8.
I'll talk
So
about it.
8.
Actually, I'll talk about it after.
9 if you include both of the nominations
Yeah.
for the thing.
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There's a concern because Jeff Keighley has a very public, close relationship with
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima, the main developer of Death Stranding. I mean, a few years ago, he was like the whole thing that happened with, Kojima can't be here to accept the award for Metal Gear Solid 5 because Konami wouldn't let him, and the entire crowd booed, and it was terrible for Konami,
Yeah.
for Konami's image. And ever since then, they've been really good friends, and they've kind of like, I mean, Jeff Keighley's in the game. He's a character in the game. One of the little outposts you meet characters in. His name in the game is literally called Ludens Fan. Ludens is the character of his studio mascot.
Mm.
And you see him in the game too quite a bit, like little things about Luden. So there's a concern that people have about
Bias.
bias.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley affecting this. The reality of the situation is that the process as we know it, Jeff Keighley is not involved in who gets nominated and who wins at all. The nominations are all the outlets I said before, which is a lot of them. I think it's like 50 or something like that. And then the winning is outlets, and 10% is based on fan voting. So he doesn't actually have a hand in the process of picking or who wins. Obviously, that's still a concern. I personally don't think there's a reason to distrust Jeff Keighley about that. But we'll find. I mean, we'll see what wins. If we see a lot of Death Stranding, then maybe there's a concern, but I don't think there will be.
It wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't win anything.
That would surprise me.
It would surprise me it doesn't win anything. It would,
Well, if it wouldn't surprise me if it won only like one thing.
I suppose.
Because like what was it? The
I
art
think it'll win
direction,
like
I
two
think?
things. Yeah, game direction is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
my thing where I was saying that's a good way to do it.
So maybe I'm wrong, or like, maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly, but wasn't it like one of the previous years where like people were like, oh, why wasn't insert game here nominated for game of the year or like for this category or something? And they were like, oh, it's because it was nominated for like other categories or something. I want to say that happened to a game, and I cannot remember. And if so, I can't remember what game it was.
Well, I said that about something. I don't think that was an official statement. I think I recall talking about something because, I mean, I remember last year talking about how the fact that God of War didn't win much of anything, but it won Game of the Year. But Red Dead Redemption 2 took a lot of the other awards.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of saying, like, from like a balanced perspective, like, oh, like it's nice to see that, God of War got the ultimate win, but like, but Red Dead Redemption got these smaller wins.
That might have been what it was.
That might be what it was.
That might
That
have
was
been
just
what it
me
was.
saying that. That was an interesting show.
Huh. That still didn't make any freaking sense.
All right. Well, that's it for this small segment that just became a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for watching us talk about the Game Awards.
Yeah, and
stuff.
expect us to do something around it when it happens. We might live stream ourselves watching it
I think my arms are
on our Twitch channel. We'll find out. Or maybe we'll just talk about it extensively in the episode that follows. So we'll see. We'll figure it out as it happens.
Come over and watch it with us, or
Gee.
don't.
All right, cool.
I'd like to thank everyone for watching episode 7 of the Market Podcast. Thanks. I'm gonna not thank you for watching the second time. I read that backwards. Anyway, remember to give us a like on the video, and if you enjoyed yourself, comment. We want to hear y'all's opinion on today's topic. Subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget, if some of you bozos sitting there listening to the show, wishing you could do your homework or whatever y'all get into and enjoy it, look no further. We're on a number of podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, etc. All the links are down in the description below. Same goes for you audio listeners. If you want to see anything from this week's episode, hop over to the YouTube at blackmonkeygaming.com. Show your boys some love, man. We're out.
See you guys next
forget
week.
out.
Hope you have a good. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and enjoy your Black Friday.
Get out and buy that shit.
Comment what you bought.
There's plenty of deals. Go look up. Go to Wario64's Twitter. There's plenty of gaming stuff there.
Hey, and if you ain't watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna inflate your toes so you can't fit your shoes.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
See ya.